Chapter 1. One-click training system. Ehem. Ouch. In the bedroom, Su Lang, who was lying on the bed, suddenly bent down and coughed up a mouthful of blood. Ah, it hurts. Where is this? After killing the target, didn't I jump off the building? Didn't I fall to my death? Su Lang opened his eyes painfully and blankly, and immediately countless memory fragments appeared, and there was a sharp pain in his head. Red Maple City Fortress. The owner of this body is also called Su Lang. This is also Blue Star. But, the barrier, martial artist, a beast. Seeing the memories in his mind, Su Lang gradually widened his eyes, and a stormy sea rose in his heart. After a while, Su Lang understood the situation. He passed. This is also the Blue Star, but the Blue Star 2000 years later, everything is very different. 2000 years ago, spiritual energy was revived, natural disasters came to the world, and life was destroyed. In desperation, humanity has embarked on the path of warriors through ancient Chinese books and developed a brilliant warrior civilization. However, thousands of years ago, a crack in space and time appeared, and endless beasts invaded the Blue Star. The humans retreated steadily, erected a towering barrier, formed a base, and continued to resist the invasion of the beasts. The place Su Lang was currently in was called Red Maple City Fort, a weak human base. And Su Lang's predecessor was born quite well, a family of 3, and his parents were both formal warriors. The levels of martial artists were divided into realms such as body tempering, martial artists, martial masters, military commanders, and martial kings. The official soldier was already a figure with face, with some minor privileges, and was respected by most people. It makes sense that Su Lang's predecessor had a pair of martial artist parents, so he had a bright future. However, what makes him desperate is that his physique is a muddy body that can't practice martial arts, and that God is peerless in the world. His parents spent all his wealth, even borrowing from the West, trying to make him a martial artist, but in the end they couldn't even enter the body. But this is not the worst. The worst thing is that not long ago, the old man of his predecessor hunted outside the city and died. Without the protection of his parents, Su Lang's predecessor instantly became lonely and unaccompanied. In a short time, he was well aware of the meaning of the phrase, life has suffered since ancient times, and the cold and warm of the world is self-knowledge. But just yesterday, his predecessor was seriously injured by 2 bullies, died, and ended a miserable life. Noisy lying, I'm so miserable. Su Lang took a cold breath and was dumbfounded. Then how much meaning do I have when I cross over? How about being thrown to death? If you can't be a warrior, you will be the bottom of the bottom for the rest of your life. He was bullied and humiliated every day, and he didn't even have a chance to take revenge. Better to die. Boom boom boom. Little trash, open the door of Lao Su. A loud knock on the door was accompanied by an unscrupulous commotion. Hearing the screams running rampant outside, Su Lang took a breath, and many images suddenly appeared in his mind. Become abused trash, and even abused old man who just died. Heaped carelessly in front of the door with garbage, urinating and defecating, making the door stink. Blocked on the stairs for blackmail, if you don't give it you just pull your hair and slap. All these kinds of humiliation came from one person, namely, Chu Gang, who lived alone on the opposite side. When his parents were there, Chu Gang called for Su Lang Su Master. When his parents didn't hear from him, Chu Gang called Su Lang a stinky kid. When his parents confirmed their deaths, Chu Gang referred to Su Lang as a little trash. As time passed, Chu Gang began to insult Su Lang, and became more and more serious. No, I'm here again. Malgobi, the predecessor was too clumsy, right? I have been bullied to this point, and I don't want to do it with a knife. Su Lang gritted his teeth in hatred, his veins popping open. He is a person who does not hold grudges, because once he has a grudge, he will immediately take revenge. It is absolutely impossible to endure such humiliation as its predecessor. Where's the knife? Where's my knife? Fight with him. Su Lang found a black tang knife on the wall, and when he held it in his hand, he would get out of bed and take the knife. But at this moment, a sharp pain suddenly hit his entire body, causing his strength to be instantly taken away. Lie down, it hurts. I'm sick. The bully of the whole family. Su Lang's face was pale and he was holding his chest, his eyes were bloodshot, and he was angry. Boom boom boom. The knock on the door turned into a kick. If not for the stronger wood in the Reiki era, this door would have been destroyed by Chu Gang. The door won't last long, what should I do? Su Lang clenched his fists angrily. Sit and wait until you die. No. Suddenly, a voice sounded out of thin air in his mind. Ding. The one-button training system has been tied and is being activated. 1%. 0.12%, 0.56%. Chapter 2. The first function is activated. What? System. Su Lang's eyes widened fiercely, and he, who was familiar with various kinds of novels, would not know the existence of the system against the heavens. Whoever gets this system will take off, stand on the pinnacle of life, have countless beautiful women, and live a life of sexual bliss and happiness. This is too timely. What am I afraid of with the system? Su Lang opened his mouth wide in horror. If his injury didn't allow him, he would burst out laughing. 0.99%, 0.100%, system activated. Ha. Activated. The command in his mind was so beautiful, Su Lang trembled with excitement. System. Tell me how you use it. Host. Unfortunately, the current system does not have any functions. The system's response made Su Lang's smile instantly stiffen, and the corner of his mouth twitched involuntarily. No function. Su Lang looked at the shaking door. Then how can I turn around? What could be more desperate than giving people hope, and then destroying their hopes? By the way, the system replied with the word, currently. That means. Su Lang's expression moved, and hope immediately reignited in his heart. How can the system work? He was very worried at this time. If the requirements for obtaining the function were too harsh, then he was done. Host, only spent 10 gold coins to activate the first function. It can be activated with money. Great. Su Lang showed ecstasy and immediately endured the pain, stretched out his hand and took out the bag from under the pillow. The predecessors knew that they hunted beasts every day, and bad luck was unpredictable, so they saved the money. Pour all the coins in it, a total of 16 gold coins, which is not a small amount of money for an ordinary person. Chu Gang, are you waiting for me? Su Lang smirked and laughed heartily. System, activate the first function. Ding. Consumption of 10 gold coins. The cultivation sea is opened, and the one key cultivation function is activated. Ding. The main practice, Infinite Heart Sutra, is detected, and the one button training function is activated. Ding. Congratulations on activating the first function. You get the bonus function, Property Panel, to observe the property details of yourself and the enemy. In an instant, a mysterious black space appeared in Su Lang's mind. Inside, there was a white criminal with a similar profile and appearance to Su Lang sitting cross-legged and training. There was a large amount of golden airflow in the little white human's body that continuously circulated in the sky according to the Boundless Heart Sutra, at an extremely fast speed. As soon as Zhou Tian turned around, Su Lang felt that a large amount of spiritual energy was flowing into his body. In addition, there were also medicinal properties that had been stored in the body after taking rare medicinal ingredients earlier, and they had also exploded madly, rapidly advancing his cultivation base. In an instant, half of the white villains turned gold. At this time, a large amount of more detailed information appeared in his mind, so that Su Lang immediately understood all the characteristics of the one-button practice function. After the one-key practice was activated, Su Lang started training automatically for 24 hours. When the white villain turns to gold, it is a breakthrough time. And the cultivation speed is equivalent to the top flawless talent. It can run a week every 1 minute. This kind of abnormal cultivation speed is more than 1,000 times faster than Fanpin's qualification. If there is no external force, the Fanpin qualification takes more than 30 years to complete the body cooling, while the flawless qualification can be completed in just 10 days. And the one-button exercise malfunctioned is just that. Because other warriors only spend 5 or 6 hours in meditation a day. Even if you work harder, you can only train for a maximum of 12 hours a day. No matter how much, you won't be able to hold on for very long. Because they also need to practice movement, go out to experience, cultivate and learn, tackle tasks, exercise at night. This will take a lot of time and energy. But Su Lang can cultivate automatically 24 hours a day, and his cultivation time is doubled. In other words, I can complete body tempering in 5 days at most, so abnormal. Su Lang was immediately dumbfounded. He knew that the system was very abnormal, but the simple and abnormal one-button training function was still too shocking. And this is the first function. There are more functions waiting for me to activate. Su Lang was so excited that he trembled, took a deep breath, and resisted the urge to laugh. At this point. Host, the cultivation sea is full. Is this a breakthrough? The system's extraordinarily beautiful voice prompt surprised Su Lang with excitement. Chapter 3. Don't you want to kill me? This can be a breakthrough. Too special, too fast. Su Lang was overjoyed and immediately ordered, System, give me a breakthrough. In an instant, Su Lang's body was hot, and there was a flash of light in his eyes. The basic body forging realm is here. Su Lang turned around and got off the bed, feeling that his body was completely different from the one before the breakthrough. Taking his appearance as an example, the previous Su Lang was seriously injured and weak, his face was as pale as the dead. But now that he had recovered from his injuries, his skin was reddish and his figure was tall and straight, his eyes were like lacquer, his eyes were burning. Suddenly, he turned from a sick kid to death into a handsome man. Ha! Su Lang couldn't help but wave a few punches, and the wind blew. This kind of power is already stronger than the body I trained in various ways in my previous life. It has just entered body tempering. The feeling of mastering the extraordinarily beautiful power, as if controlling one's own destiny, makes people feel confident in an instant. Boom boom boom. Trash Su Lang, I will kill you if I don't open the door again. The sound of the kicks became more and more intense, and Chu Gang's anger became more and more unbearable. Kill me, Jia 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 Jia. Su Lang looked at the roaring and dusty door with a thick grin on his face. Although Chu Gang is domineering, he is just an ordinary person, not even the main temperament. And Su Lang was an assassin in his previous life, and now he has been promoted to temper his body. Are you afraid of ordinary people? Boom boom boom. Bastard dog, will you open the door? Chu Gang's loud voice came from outside, and the door was also kicked and deformed, as if it would break in the next moment. Don't kick. Su Lang closed the window tightly, shouted, and then opened the door with a smirk on his face. Standing outside the door was a thin, dark man with a bald head. This person is Chu Gang. Draft Ma, it took so long to open the door. Chu Gang opened the door impatiently and entered through the gap in the door. What are you shouting? Ah. Su Lang smiled coldly, raised his hand and slapped Chu Gang's fat face. Snapped. A loud slap echoed down the stairs. Chu Gang was slapped by Su Lang for a half circle, shocking and propping up the wall. His entire right face was numb. You, why do you dare to hit me? Chu Gang clutched his hot face and looked at Su Lang in disbelief. Since the body extinguisher is still unable to emit spiritual energy fluctuations, Chu Gang thinks that the current Su Lang is still the same waste. In his opinion, Su Lang really had the courage of a bear and a leopard's heart. And the reason why he himself was hit was really careless and attacked. I want you dead. Chu Gang rushed to the crown furiously, and clenched Su Lang's fist. This punch used the strength of Chu Gang's 12 cents to retrieve the key to Su Lang's temple. If ordinary people got hit like that, they definitely wouldn't die or be seriously injured. Explosion. There was a dull sound, and Su Lang easily grabbed Chu Gang's fist. How is this possible? Right after Chu showed an extraordinary look, Su Lang slammed. Click. The bloody bone stump suddenly pierced through the flesh and was hit by the air. Ah. His arm was broken into 2 pieces alive. Chu Gang couldn't stand the severe pain, and suddenly screamed. Aren't you going to kill me? Su Lang threw away Chu Gang's broken arm and slapped him again with a slap in the face. Trapped. This time his left face. Chu Gang immediately fell to the ground, his face swelled up and his bald head became a pig's head. Ah, my hands. Chu Gang's face was twisted, and he continued to wail while holding his broken arm. The previous arrogance was long gone. It's only one hand, so you can't stand it. Su Lang closed the door and looked at Chu Gang condescendingly. How did you survive the pain of a broken limb? Su Lang, stop, stop. Chu Gang was shocked when he heard that Su Lang was going to break his limbs. Stop it, ha ha. Su Lang hooked his mouth and stomped on Chu Gang's head. I don't want to think about how you insulted me earlier. I admit I was wrong, but you don't want to die, let me go. Chu shook his head violently. I told you, I have joined the Broken Axe Hunting Guild. All members of the Broken Axe Hunting group have tattoos on their earlobe. Look at my earlobe. I say, if you dare to move me, your ending will be terrible. Chapter 4. It is good to have all limbs broken. Chu Gang didn't know why Su Lang had suddenly become stronger. But he knows that Su Lang is a muddy body and it is absolutely impossible for him to follow the martial arts. If you don't enter the path of a warrior, you will always be an ordinary person, no matter how strong. You can't fight a group of broken axe hunters who have warriors. Therefore, he was not afraid and was sure that Su Lang would be frightened. The axe hunting group is broken. Su Lang's eyes were cold, his toes turned violently, and Chu Gang immediately shouted, his cheeks twisted. The Broken Axe Hunting Group is a notorious gang nearby that does everything for rape and looting. Su Lang clearly remembered that the 2 bullies who had beaten him badly had tattoos on their earlobe. Okay, Broken Axe Hunter Group. The hatred of humiliation and murder, the 2 hatreds were added together, and the hatred in Su Lang's heart surged, and he used his feet again. Ah, Su Lang, Don't you hear? Let me go. Seeing Su Lang's changes intensify, Chu Gang suddenly felt a little guilty. Quickly release me, we will settle our grievances. It's not that simple to clear up a complaint. Su Lang sneered, with killing intent in his eyes. Calculating your treatment by my parents in the past, and your humiliation of me after that, you must spend your life clearing this grudge. No, Su Lang, I was wrong. After all, Chu Gang was a bastard and was afraid of hard trash. Seeing Su Lang's intent to kill, he suddenly felt horrified and lowered his head begging for mercy. Huh. Su Lang suddenly stretched out his hand and grabbed it, and took the black tang knife from the side wall. Don't kill me, I know I was wrong, I'm sorry. When Chu Gang saw Su Lang move the knife, he was immediately frightened. You know that you can't kill people in the city. This is an iron law. You will die if you kill me. The law of iron is for the weak to obey. This is the consensus. Su Lang smiled coldly and slowly took out his sharp blade. Xiao Xiao, please surround me. I don't want to die. The panic in Chu Gang's heart gradually turned into despair, and tears and nose immediately flowed. It's not impossible to save your life. Su Lang placed a cold knife on Chu Gang's neck and cut off a trail of blood. Tell me everything about the Broken Axe Hunter group, background, location, number of members, and strength. I said, don't do that. With a long knife at the end, Chu Gang was cold and his hair was about to stand on end. I just joined the Broken Axe Hunting group. I don't know the gang's background. I only know that the gang leader is an official martial artist, and the two deputy gang leaders are quasi-fighters, very strong. The other members range from basic bodies to peak-tempered bodies, and there are many ordinary people like me. Broken Axe Hunter Group's nest is in the Golden Fruit building. I just entered the outer Golden Fruit bar. I don't know the location of the core. I also know that there is the hunting base of the Broken Axe Hunting Group outside the city, in the area of the F-class Wind Wolf. That's it. I said everything. Don't kill me. Chu Gang finished speaking in one breath, trembling with fear, tears welled up. There are two members of the Broken Axe Hunting Group. Su Lang explained the appearance characteristics of the two bullies and asked, do you know? Yes, I know. Chu Gang nodded in horror. One is Do Zhang, and the other is Kai Feng. They are both in the forging stage and have been in the fortresses outside the city for a long time. They came back yesterday, and I happened to be drinking with them all night at the Golden Fruit Bar. But I don't know why. They left early in the morning and carried the waves of people away. I was low-leveled and couldn't participate, so I came back. Well. Su Lang nodded, and with a sigh, Tang Dao gloved. Chu Gang heaved a sigh of relief when he saw this. His entire body was sweating, like a stray dog that had just been lifted from the water. But at this time, Su Lang smiled and moved the leg on Chu Gang's head to the other intact arm. Su Lang, what are you going to do? Chu Gang's pupils suddenly shrank and his voice was frightened. No. Don't. Su Lang turned a deaf ear to Chu Gang's plea for mercy and crushed him. Crack. Ah. Chu Gang screamed like a pig, tears and nose running down his face. This has not been completed. Su Lang smiled faintly, and moved his leg to Chu Gang's thigh again. Yes, all limbs will be broken. Please, Master Su. Do not. What? Chapter 5. System functions can be upgraded. Immediately after several howling wolf cries, Chu Gangui collapsed into a coma with sudden pain. Fortunately, Su Lang closed the doors and windows early. The good sound insulation material of the Aura Era prevented Chu Gang's screams from spreading, otherwise it would cause trouble. What a relief. Seeing Chu Gang with broken limbs, Su Lang smiled gently and immediately pulled out a chair to sit down. He didn't forget that after activating the first function, he also entered the Property Panel ability. This function is very good. The corner of Su Lang's mouth twitched. With this function, you can find out yourself and your opponent. The system, open the Property Panel. Name, Su Lang. Race, human. Qualification level, turbidity. Realm level, main body cooling. Attack level, main body cooling. Defense level, main body tempering. Shenpa level, main body tempering. Endurance level, main body cooling. Master the practice, Infinite Heart Sutra. Activated system function, 1 key training function, level 1. Qualification is still muddy, but it's not important. I can train without qualification. Su Lang looked at the panel and turned his gaze to the Mastering Practice column. The Boundless Heart Sutra. After a while, Su Lang found information about this practice from his predecessor's memories. It turned out that this was the most advanced mainstream practice in Blue Star. It made sense that according to the unwritten rule that high-level training would be blocked by the monopoly, it was impossible for Su Lang to know about this practice. Under normal circumstances, unless they were close relatives or direct disciples, the strong might not continue their training until they died. Once the enemy's weakness was penetrated by his own technique, it was extremely dangerous. Second, people are selfish, and they certainly don't want their good stuff scattered all over the place. If self-training was given to a higher qualified person, wouldn't that be surpassed immediately? Is stepping on from above immediately. At that time, any status, wealth and beauty will be gone. Therefore, the strong monopoly of high-level practice is very serious, and even the spread of low-level practice is severely restricted. But the fact is that not only Su Lang, but everyone in the world knows the Boundless Heart Sutra, even children know it. Thousands of years ago, a human hero took the world's worst and published this ultimate training method to the public, which would benefit mankind in the world endlessly. Since then, the other major practices have been gradually eliminated, and everyone has started practicing the Infinite Heart Sutra. Unfortunately, this is only one example of revealing advanced techniques. Su Lang regretted a little, and then continued to look down along the attribute panel. Suddenly his eyes lit up. Level 1. Can one-click training be upgraded? Host, one-button training function can be improved. Level 2 requires 100 gold coins, and the cultivation speed is twice the base speed. Level 3 requires 1000 gold coins, and the cultivation speed is 4 times the base speed. Level 4 requires 10,000 gold coins, and the cultivation speed is 8 times the base speed. Level 5 requires 100,000 gold coins. I'm a fork. This way, if you keep improving, won't your cultivation speed reach tens, hundreds, or thousands of times the base speed? I have been practicing for 1 year, which is equivalent to the cultivation of others for decades, hundreds, or thousands of years. Lying noisy, cultivated and cultivated. Su Lang was so excited that he stood up from his seat happily. He really wanted to raise the function to the advanced level now, so that he could break through quickly. When the time comes, destroy the broken axe hunting group, and it will be easy to take revenge. But soon Su Lang found that he had no money to upgrade his function. He now only had 6 gold coins left. The distance to level 2 is still 94 gold coins. Money, money, money. I need money. Su Lang paced in the room. I have no money, what should I do? Suddenly, Su Lang's gaze fell on Chu Gang. Although this person must be very poor, no matter how small the mosquito is, it is meat. With this in mind, Su Lang dragged Chu Gang to the opposite house, then searched him and his house. 1 silver coin and 62 copper coins. Poor ghost. Seeing the change in his hand, Su Lang slammed the door of Chu Gang's house. Chapter 6. Benefits of the Warrior League. Back at his house, Su Lang started to worry again. It is impossible to get 94 gold coins for work. It is impossible to work for life. I can only think of another way like this. After a moment of contemplation, Su Lang's inspiration flashed, and he thought of 2 ways. The first is selling the house. Although Su Lang's house was ordinary, it was worth 20 or 30 gold coins. Although you will be homeless once you sell the house, as long as the system is upgraded, isn't it just a matter of minutes to become a more advanced warrior? When the time comes to buy a house, it is not a large villa of several acres without even looking at it. The second method is to go to the Martial Arts Alliance Hall to receive the main body temper allowance. The Warrior Alliance was founded by the warriors thousands of years ago to fight the invasion of beasts. Today, it has become an official organization, covering all bases, large and small, with super strong dominance. In order to stimulate people to continue training and become stronger, fight beasts and protect their homes, the Martial Arts Alliance has launched great benefits for warriors. Any ordinary person who is promoted to the main body tempering can go to the Martial Arts Alliance to receive 10 gold coins as training capital. And every time you break through a small realm, you can go to the Warrior League to receive pocket money, and the higher the realm, the more rewards are given. For example, if you break through from the main body temper to the middle temper body, you can get 20 gold coins. In addition, warriors can receive several allowances every month. Of course, it can't be compared to the amount received by breaking through the realm. This benefit is really great. Su Lang was very excited. Go to sell the house first, then get some pocket money, and then go to the F-class Wind Wolf area to see the messy strongholds of the Broken Axe Hunter group. Just do it. Su Lang immediately started to pack up and salute. Because the house was simple, there was nothing to bring, so Su Lang immediately took a backpack and left with Tang Dao. After leaving the community, Su Lang found a shop nearby to buy a used house and sold the house for 25 gold coins. Because the shop is very familiar with the community that Su Lang is in, even the home inspection process is omitted, which is much more convenient. Holding 31 gold coins, Su Lang boarded the Aura bus and rushed to the Wuge League building. After the disaster, the tree of science and technology collapsed, and most of the products of science and technology were useless. The traditional car is one of them. Neither petrol cars nor electric cars can be used. However, 2,000 years is enough time for mankind to develop a new means of transportation, the Aura car. It's just that the Aura car is very expensive, and the operating and maintenance costs are also very high. It was difficult even for an official fighter to own a personal Aura car. As for catching animals as mounts, that's not possible. Many people have tried for thousands of years, but nothing works. The Reiki bus continued to move forward, while Su Lang sat in his seat and stared at the little white man in the one-button practice room. At the first sweet taste of the breakthrough, Su Lang couldn't help but leave the white villain for a moment. Seeing the continuous flow of golden air, and feeling the aura constantly flowing into the body, it doesn't feel very cool. Half an hour later, Ling Qi's bus arrived at the Wuge League building. This is the Martial Arts Alliance building. It really looks impressive. Su Lang got out of the car. He was very knowledgeable and surprised by the building in front of him. The building is like a cast of black crystal, very tall, and more than a few times taller than the former Dubai Tower. Its territory is also very wide, like a giant mountain. The Warrior Alliance building is the base of the Warrior Alliance. Not only various offices, but also various shops, training rooms, gyms, and so on. What Su Lang was going to was the office dedicated to receiving allowances. This office was on the ground floor of the building, also known as the Hall of the Warrior Alliance, with a very large area and majestic splendor. No less than 100 people came and went in the hall, only the reception window. This window of acceptance is divided into levels, and the warriors of the corresponding realm are looking for the appropriate window to do something. High-level warriors had the privilege of using the lower-level window first. Privileges are everywhere in this era where martial arts are respected and power is given to individuals. Body temperature window. Here. Su Lang looked around and walked to the left. The body temperature is the lowest level warrior, and there are many people who come to receive benefits, and there is a long line in front of every window. Chapter 7. Live Trash. Su Lang joined the team and waited. There are too many people, and from time to time there are official soldiers who take advantage of the privilege of jumping in the queue with juniors, and the team's progress speed is even slower. Su Lang waited for a full 3 hours before his turn. Hello. Su Lang handed the identity card to the woman with heavy makeup behind the window. What level of allowance? The woman with heavy makeup asked in a numb tone. Main body cooling. Su Lang replied with a smile, and then touched the pole next to the window, and the pole lit up with a white dot of light. This kind of spark can accurately determine the strength of a martial artist, and the realm of body tempering is displayed with white light spots, and the level is determined by numbers. This is really the main body tempering. The woman with heavy makeup gave off a shock, and a trace of disdain flashed across her eyes looking at Su Lang. Cough, please hurry. Su Lang caught a trace of looking down, and his face suddenly turned cold and slightly uncomfortable. Su Lang, you are only a junior at 20. Are you a mortal qualification or a waste qualification? While speaking, the woman with heavy makeup took 10 gold coins and placed them under the window. He did not hide his voice, and everyone around him heard it. It's just the forging of the main body at such a great age. It must be a waste product. This kind of god qualification also comes to receive perks. This is a waste of resources. Isn't it? Don't even want to enter the warrior realm in this life, the advanced temper body will stand up to the sky. Yes, even if you receive a few more years allowance, you don't need to break through to the middle temper. Suddenly someone sneered. Ah. Su Lang sneered, you guys are no longer young, aren't you also grumpy? Could it be the same? An equally young man with braids tugged at his collar and shouted, I am a martial artist, can you compare it to a waste product? Wow, such a young man is a quasi-fighter, stronger than the peak of body temperament, genius. Yes, this is a military reserve, it is extraordinary. Handsome man, what's your name, are you short on errands? The surrounding body temperature suddenly exclaimed and looked at the braided man with envy. Did you see it? The braided man lifted his chin and looked at Su Lang disdainfully, this is a state where you have to work hard for a lifetime. Su Lang glanced, and the braided man's attribute panel suddenly appeared. Name, Yang Shi. Race, human. Qualification level, medium. Realm level, quasi-warrior. Attack level, quasi-soldier. Defensive level, quasi-warrior. Shenfa level, pseudo-soldier. Durability level, quasi-warrior. Master the practice, the Sutra of the Infinite Heart. Medium, trash. Su Lang rolled his eyes. The cultivation speed of a middle-class qualification and his perfect level are 300 to 400 times different. Compared to him, it really is trash. Hey, talk back. Yang Shi stepped forward and patted Su Lang's shoulder, laughing, yes, you are a genius, a natural waste material. Ha ha. Su Lang sneered, since you said that I am trash, we'd better make a bet. Bet, I like it. Yang Shi clapped his hands, what are you betting on? I will accompany you. Su Lang said indifferently, just bet how long it will take me to break through from elementary level body forging to intermediate level body forging, bet 50 gold coins. Okay, I'm sure. Yang Shi sneered, I believe that you can break through from the main body temper to the middle temper in 10 years. If you do, come to the Puan Villa area north of the city to find me Yang Shi, I will give you 50 gold coins. If you can't do it, I'm not making it difficult for you. I took it off and ran 3 laps around the Martial Arts Alliance building. While running, I shouted, I'm a genius to let everyone know you okay. Okay, that's a great idea. I got naked and screamed, I'm a genius. This is very interesting, what a great idea. Yeah, I can't help but laugh when I think of that scene. The people around who were witnessing the excitement hummed. Neither of them believed that Su Lang could break through to the mid-tempered body within 10 years. Everyone started cultivating as soon as they came to their senses, and Su Lang was in his 20s, and he had been training for over 10 years before he started to soften his body. How could he spend less time breaking through a more difficult world? Chapter 8. Open your eyes. How? Dare to bet. Yang Shi smiled disdainfully, he also had the same idea, so he proposed this bet. Why don't you dare? Su Lang laughed, however, the stakes must be changed. If you lose, you not only have to give me 50 gold coins, but you also have to run 3 laps around the Martial Arts Alliance building, while running and shouting, I'm a genius, how about it? Okay, there he is. Yang Shi's face is full of victory, and after speaking, he will return to the team. Wait. Su Lang smiled and waved. What? Repent. Yang Shi sneered, it's too late to regret now, genius Su Lang. No. Su Lang smiled faintly, I think a verbal agreement is not formal enough, and it is safer to enter in black and white. What? Yang Shi was stunned with a smile, and immediately looked around, sign and bet. Did he really think he would win? Yeah, that's too ridiculous, you still sign it. When I met this Su Lang, I had a long experience. He is a waste product, dare to bet with a pseudo-martial artist, and now he has to sign and bet, that's just the world. Oh, what are you laughing at? People are very serious, they will definitely win. More and more people become spectators. Everyone's faces can't be trusted or sneered at. No one thought that Su Lang could win. Well, since you are so serious, I promise with great affection. Yang Shi smiled and spread his arms, came to the window, and said to the woman with heavy makeup, Beauty, borrow a pen and paper. Okay, no problem. The attitude of women with heavy makeup towards Yang Shi is different, which is called flattery. He took out a pen and paper for Yang Shi, and pretended to use the back of his hand to accidentally rub Yang Shi's finger. Ha ha. Yang Shi laughed and took out a pen and paper to write a game. After signing the name, he handed it to Su Lang. Your turn, our genius. The people around them burst out laughing again when they heard this sentence. Ah. Su Lang smiled indifferently, and took the paper and pen to sign his name. That's how this bet is made. Yang Shi didn't even read Su Lang's name, I was waiting for you to fulfill his punishment, haha. For the same, I will pay you back. Su Lang smiled faintly, I was also waiting for you to fulfill the punishment, and now. What? Yang Shi and the audience were shocked when they heard this, and they all sneered. At this point. System, give me a breakthrough. Su Lang's mind stirred, and a wave of fluctuation characteristic of his breakthrough instantly spread from his body. Because the medicinal properties stored in Su Lang's body had not been absorbed, his current cultivation speed was still faster than that of a flawless genius. And it has been 3 or 4 hours from the breakthrough to the main body tempering, and the white villain has turned into gold. If not for a few words with Yang Shi, Su Lang would have broken through before. Huh, how does it feel? It seems that the waste material broke through to the intermediate tempering body. No, what are you kidding me about? The phenomenon of Su Lang's breakthrough was obvious. The audience knew it well, but they didn't want to believe it because it was amazing. What the hell? Yang Shi also looked at Su Lang in disbelief. Hey, I'll bet. Su Lang smiled and waved approval, please take a bet of 50 gold coins, then let go and run 3 laps around the Martial Arts Alliance building, while running and shouting, "I'm a genius, let everyone know you." "No, that's impossible. How did you break through body tempering intermediate so quickly?" Yang Shi's face was green and white, and he said lithely, "You must be cheating. What method did you use to simulate the fluctuations during the breakthrough?" "Cheating. Open your dog's eyes." Su Lang sneered and placed his hand on the pole by the window. Two white light dots suddenly flashed on the pole. Chapter 9. Increase the funds in hand. 2 points of light. Really a medium temper body. This Su Lang is clumsy. He was able to break through to body tempering intermediate long ago. Fuck, then why did he come to receive the main body tempering allowance at this time? Who doesn't break through the tempering of the main body and comes to receive pocket money with pleasure? How can he endure it? Fake. But the volatility he emitted earlier was indeed breakthrough volatility. I've seen this volatility many times, so I can't go wrong. That is, he actually just broke through intermediate body tempering. Yang Shi planted. Yes, Yang Shi is really unlucky to face such a thing. But if Yang Shi doesn't mock others, nothing will go wrong. Haha, he said. Everyone spoke in disbelief, all eyes on Yang Shi. Reserve martial artist, are you going to break your promise and get fat? Su Lang smiled coldly at Yang Shi. Please give me a bet of 50 gold coins, and then fulfill the second bet. Grass. What if you break through the middle temper body? I didn't break through to intermediate body tempering at the age of 20, that is, general grades. In front of me, Yang Shi, you Su Lang is still trash, No need to look for it. Heartbroken and embarrassed, Yang Shi took out a spiritual stone from his pocket and slammed it into Su Lang's chest, then left without looking back. As for taking off and running 3 laps around the Martial Arts Alliance building, and shouting, "I'm a genius" while running, he didn't have the face to do it and didn't dare to do it. Otherwise, not only would his own reputation be ruined, but the entire Yang family would be laughed at. At that time, his Yang Shi ending was terrible. Therefore, he would rather pay Su Lang a low-grade spirit stone worth 100 gold coins rather than fulfill the second gambling agreement. For the sake of this spiritual stone, let me spare you for now and don't let me run into you again. Su Lang looked at Yang Shi's departing figure and sneered indifferently. Immediately after, Su Lang turned to look at the woman with heavy makeup at the work window. "Hey, old witch, give me an allowance and an ID card for medium body temper." This time the incident was caused by this woman with heavy makeup. Even though Su Lang earned 100 gold coins, he was still very upset. Huh. The woman with heavy makeup threw away 20 gold coins and Su Lang's identity card angrily. That's just a mortal qualification. If you provoke young Master Yang, you die, step aside and don't stand behind. Tisk Ivory, this attitude of handling things will die sooner or later. Su Lang sneered, packed up the spirit stones, gold coins, and identity cards, and quickly left the hall of the Warrior Alliance. It seems that Yang Shi has several identities. Walking on the street, Su Lang spun the spirit stone in his hand. Lingxi is a kind of strange energy spar. It is a heaven and earth treasure that is produced after the aura is revived, and an important resource for martial artists to practice. In addition, spirit stones can be cut and ground at will, and then cut into standard sizes as high-end currency. Under normal circumstances, spirit stones were circulated among the warriors and powerhouses of the higher realms. Lingxi is also divided into quality grades, namely low grade, middle grade, high grade, and high grade. Lower grade spirit stones were worth 100 gold coins, and the exchange ratio between each upper grade was 100 times. This spirit stone in Su Lang's hand was a low grade spirit stone. When I exchange half of these spirit stones into gold coins, I will have 161 gold coins, which is enough to upgrade the 1 key training function to level 2, ha ha ha. When he thought that his cultivation speed would be twice as fast as a genius without a lack of talent, Su Lang was so excited that he wanted to roar into the sky. Suddenly, the host, the system can provide free currency storage, exchange and withdrawal functions. What? Su Lang immediately showed surprise. In this way, it saves a lot of trouble and saves a lot of handling costs. The system immediately exchanged these spiritual stones into gold coins. Su Lang thought, and the spirit stone in his hand disappeared. There is an extra money symbol in the upper left corner of the mysterious black space, marked with 100 on the back. Ding! The exchange was successful. May I keep the remaining gold coins in the system? Deposit. Su Lang nodded. The gold coins on his body immediately disappeared, and the number behind the money symbol became 161. Chapter 10. Level 2 1 button practice function. Already 161 gold coins. Su Lang licked his lips excitedly. System, upgrade me 1 button practice function. Ding. Consume 100 gold coins. The one-button training function is upgraded to level 2, and the training speed is increased to twice the basic speed. On the white villain in the mysterious black space, the speed of the golden airflow instantly doubled. This turbulent aura, so fast. Feeling the aura continuously flowing into his body, Su Lang couldn't help but open his hands, his face full of intoxication. After the cultivation speed doubled, the originally expected time of less than 5 days was immediately shortened by half. In just 2 days, Su Lang was able to complete the goal that most people had struggled for decades, to be promoted to official warrior. It tastes so refreshing. Seeing the white villain in the black space gradually turning to gold, Su Lang couldn't help but curl his mouth. Immediately Su Lang asked expectantly, "System, at this speed, how long will it take me to break through to advanced body tempering?" Host, you can break through to advanced body tempering in just 4 hours. 4 hours, only one afternoon. Su Lang was overjoyed. When I found the hunting base of the Broken Axe Hunter group, I was almost able to break through. Now that the house was sold, Su Lang had nowhere to go, so he decided to step on it. In a very happy mood, Su Lang boarded the No. Reiki bus 1 to the city gate. Most of the people who took the No. Bus 1 go hunting out of town. It was only after entering the body tempering realm that he dared to hunt F-class beasts in the area closest to the barrier. Therefore, most of the cars in this car are in a body tempering state, and Su Lang is not conspicuous in the crowd. After half an hour, the Lingqi bus arrived at the terminal. At this time, the number of people in the car had been reduced by half. It can be seen that even if the body is angry, not everyone dares to go hunting. After getting out of the car, Su Lang saw a very high barrier. This barrier was so high that it was comparable to the Martial Arts Alliance building, which was over 2,000 meters tall. Its thickness is also very amazing, just like the thick mountain range that spreads on the ground. Moreover, a large number of arrays were carved into the barrier. This array is not only defensive, but also offensive, which is extremely powerful. However, from the level of defense of this barrier, we can deduce how powerful the beasts outside are. Following a group of people out of town, Su Lang came into the hall. This hall is also affiliated with the Martial Artists Alliance and is called the Tower Hall. The Tower Hall has functions such as selling map information, recovering animal materials, natural treasures, selling medicine, weapons, and armor. Moreover, the street outside the Tower Hall was full of private stalls selling all sorts of goods. Su Lang became interested, and walked around the street to have a look. Maps for sale, maps for sale. A middle-aged man with a junior body temperament shouted at Su Lang. The latest version of the map was updated just the day before yesterday. The young man will have it. Then have a copy. Su Lang needed a map, otherwise he would be blind when he left the city. Hee, Chungwei 1 gold coin. The middle-aged man handed over the map, his face full of laughter. 1 gold coin. Are you stupid? Su Lang shook his head speechlessly. 1 silver coin. Whether you like to sell it or not, there are many people who don't sell it. With that said, he went to the next stall. Little brother, don't go. The middle-aged man smiled stiffly. 2 silver coins, the lowest. 2 silver coins is fine. Su Lang paused and tossed 2 silver coins, but I have to ask about one thing. You said, I will tell you what I know. The middle-aged man smiled and handed the map to Su Lang. Su Lang picked up the map. I ask you, do you know the fortress of the Broken Axe Hunting Group in the F-class Wind Wolf area? Broken Axe Hunter Group's stronghold. I should know that. The middle-aged man's complexion changed. You guys are here for the first time. Okay. Su Lang nodded happily. Tell me about this fort.